Assalamu alaikum guys, and welcome to another episode of Smile to Jannah. Okay guys, let's get straight into this one. In the last couple of days so many things have happened, so I'm gonna be as brief as possible and try to give things in bullet point form, yeah? Okay, so some of you might be watching the news and thinking what on earth is going on, and naturally the mainstream media is going to show violence against the police. It's going to show protesters as bad because naturally if they show protesters to be good, then more protesters are going to go on the streets. Yeah, but alhamdulillah people are smart and they don't really follow mainstream media, especially when you got social media and Twitter. Okay, so what has led us to the current point that we're in? Okay, let's bear in mind that this is coming at the backdrop of the COVID lockdowns, yeah? On top of that, March 13th, Breonna Taylor, she was shot 8 times while she slept. Then we move on to May the 5th, the killing of Ahmaud Arbery, and that was because he was jogging. And then we fast forward to now, which is the killing of George Floyd. A policeman kept his knee on George's neck for 8.5 minutes, which eventually led to his death. Now what people have an issue with is how white people get treated when they get arrested and how black people get treated when they get arrested. Case in point is that of Dylann Roof. Now Dylann Roof was somebody who killed 9 people in a church. He was then arrested amicably, and then when he said he felt hungry, he got Burger King.
What?
So when you see treatments like that compared to George Floyd, who was literally killed on the spot whilst people are watching, there is a clear disparity, yeah? Now this is something that rappers have been talking about in their lyrics. You've got people like Trevor Noah using the medium of comedy to get this across. You've got sports stars like Colin Kaepernick who've been taking a knee and people will be telling him that's not how you protest. You've got hashtags that have been trending.
And there's an easy way to stop it. Arrest the cops. Charge the cops. Charge all the cops. Not just some of them, not just here in Minneapolis. Charge them in every city across America where our people are being murdered. Don't talk to us about looting. Y'all are the looters. America has looted black people. America looted the Native Americans when they first came here. So looting is what you do. We learned it from you. We learned violence from you.
Okay, so let's get to the updates that we've seen in the last couple of days. Okay, the first thing is the police officer that killed George has been arrested on 3rd degree murder. People are disputing that he should really be arrested on 2nd degree murder because of his intent to kill. It's now been told to us that he had multiple complaints, and people are also saying that he worked at the same place that George did back in the days, but there's not enough evidence to suggest that they actually met with each other. And unlucky for him, but lucky for his wife, she's divorced him and now he's in prison on suicide watch. But the 3 other people who were involved, because bear in mind 3 people were on George whilst one of them watched, so those 3 other police officers are still at large. Trump on the other hand blanketly labelled the protesters as thugs, which is a racially charged term. He then said in his tweet, when the looting starts, the shooting starts, which is literally inciting civil war. And that's what caused Twitter to say, hang on a minute, he's finally gone too far and we need to censor the tweet. Okay, so like I mentioned, the news is not going to show you the protesters protesting peacefully and doing positive things, because let's face it, that's not very newsworthy. And they're not going to show their police officers doing things wrong unless it happens to their reporter who's literally recording live.
If you're just tuning in, you are watching our correspondent Omar Jimenez being arrested by state police in Minnesota. We're not sure why our correspondent is being arrested.
If you go on Twitter, you will see police officers abusing their power by using excessive force. Tear gas is being used as standard now. And police have even been seen to be taking and destroying supplies of protesters. And this is amongst many other things here that if I put on YouTube, my video's gonna be restricted. Of course there are people who are abusing these protests. Case in point, Jake Paul has been seen on the scene, and he's been spotted at the Fashion District. You have celebrities like Taylor Swift who have been highlighting the problems of white supremacy. Naturally some of her fans are not happy about this. You've got Jamie Foxx showing his support, and you got LeBron James amongst others. Anonymous, the famous activist hackers, are back after their 3-year hibernation.
These officers must face criminal charges, and Officer Chauvin especially should face murder charges. Unfortunately, we do not trust your corrupt organization to carry out justice, so we will be exposing your many crimes to the world.
And within 24 hours of their threat, the Minneapolis police website goes down. F the police was being played on police radio, and Trump and Epstein have been further exposed amongst many other people. And what's brilliant is solidarity marches are being held in Canada, in Germany, and of course here are the scenes from the UK. Oh, I forgot to mention, Batman turned up as well. Now what's interesting to mention here is, had this amount of unrest taken place in any other country, the Western nations, including America, would have been the first to say that government needs to change. Yeah? In other words, it's called regime change. There would have been international uproar about what's going on, and calls for interference and calls for this intervention and that intervention and blah blah blah. But here, no international leader, especially Western leaders, seem to be saying anything. When you see countries like China, India, Israel, not a peep. Not a peep. We are living in a very interesting time. I am so glad that people are taking to the streets and marching. Of course we don't call for violence, but it's understandable what is causing that sentiment amongst people. I do want the people to know that as Muslims we support people that are being oppressed wherever they are, regardless of creed, religion, colour, etc. We are with you. Keep doing what you're doing, and let's leave it there guys. Until next time, Assalamu alaikum.